How's it going, Risky? Hello, hello. All right, nothing on the Wonder Picks. How's it going, my mind? Hello, hello. How's it going, Fractal? I thought you were gonna skip streaming for a while. We are gonna come to a stop for a little bit. However, the new expansion for the, what was it called? Fantastical Parade. The new expansion for the Fantastical Parade has been released. I uploaded a video just talking about my watching the trailer reaction kind of thing, but I want to upload, I guess, just a couple of shorts, YouTube shorts, talking about the new video, or talking about the new cards coming out. So I'll probably just sit here, we talk about it, look at some of the new cards, then I'll upload those slowly throughout the next couple of days while I'm out of town. I capped on that. So today's gonna be a very short stream. We're just gonna be looking at all the cards and talking about like my thought process, I suppose, right? So I figured if I was gonna record offline to do this, we might as well just go live and also do it. Sure, why not? There is no vertical stream up at the moment. This will be a pretty short stream. We got a couple of things. Mega Gardevoir. I'm trying to find out how I can put this up for you guys. You always fall back to sleep while listening to this channel. It's a good thing. You love the channel. Hey, welcome on in. Okay. I mean, I guess you can see most of the cards, right? Honestly, I could make it a very convenient way. I'll take a look. There's a way I can do this. Good luck in today's battles. I don't think we're battling today. I don't think we're gonna do any battling. We might just discuss the new Pokemon cards that were shown off. I think what I'll do is, while we discuss it, I'll just replace my slime card. Right? I'll replace my slime with the new Pokemon card, so you can see on the left side. And whenever I transition through, you can see all the other new cards. And then we'll just talk about it that way, right? That might be one of the easiest ways to do it. Just so it's not too overwhelming in terms of like the UI layout. Any pre-release deck thoughts? Pre-release deck thoughts. Mega Mawile being a basic seems very good with just 2 energy and your heat crunch ramps up. Pre-release deck thoughts. Trying to think. It's a mega, and you have to keep that in mind. So once it dies, it's dead. Realistically speaking, I feel like Mega Mawile could be in its own deck, right? You know how we ran like Miltank solo? What if we ran as Mega Mawile solo and put max survivability? I'm talking all the heals, I'm talking all that, because it says until this Pokemon leaves the active spot, you're continuously ramping up. We'll talk about the thoughts. We'll talk about the thoughts. Let's do one more solo battle here. Yeah, Mawile 19 trainer. Just like the Miltank. I don't know. Seems like it ramps up faster than Miltank. It does, technically. Although Miltank only needs 1 energy, but it starts at 10 damage and then goes to 40. You're starting at 60 damage, then going to 90, and then going to 120. And you have a lot more healing with a lot more survivability with Adaman. How's it going, therapist? So chat, today is going to be a very short stream. If you guys are here, you guys are here. By short, I mean probably less than an hour at max at most, if anything. We're really not going to do any like online battles. I'm doing some solo missions right now, and that's pretty much it. And we're going to talk about the new cards, and that's all. This is the last stream we're going to do for quite a while. I will not be able to make it to the actual... I'm trying to remember what this expansion's called. Fantastical Parade. I'm not going to make it to the Fantastical Parade, unfortunately, because I will be out of town. I'm not going to come back until probably a week or so after the expansion has already dropped. So, unfortunately, we will not be able to share the update with you guys. I don't know why the AIs did not decide to put the heavy helmet on. Like, there's no downside to putting the heavy helmet on. Why would you not equip? Sometimes the AI can be very bad. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some of the new cards that were shown off, and then we'll at least upload some YouTube shorts, just so the YouTube channel isn't completely dry while we're gone for like 2 weeks or something, right? So, hoping that some of these YouTube shorts will be good, will be fine. But other than that, that's pretty much all we got on the menu today. I gotta finish packing and all that other good stuff. Jolteon's gonna have a field day if Gardevoir is top meta. Oh yeah. 60 damage to any Pokemon on the bench. For any Pokemon at all. Double Cyrus. Jolteon double Cyrus. gonna be great. It is definitely gonna be great. All right, let's let Venusaur clean up on this boss here. Yeah, Gardevoir is gonna be fun. Because you don't even need it for Psychic. Oh, no, you do. You do need it for Psychic. I was gonna say you could rock it on a colorless Pokemon. No, you gotta. It says Psychic Pokemon, which I guess could be cool for some other cards. I mean, there's Giratina, Gengar. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. All right, let's talk about the cards. Honestly, since we're not really playing a deck, I can move that over there. All right. Hopefully you guys are okay with looking at it on the right side. I'll try and center it for those who don't like things not centered. I guess center it with the Master Ball rank, whatever. Okay. Reuniqueless, but you doubt anyone would attempt that? Yeah. There's an Eevee Grove. Wait, if I'm remembering, there's an Eevee Grove Espeon that there's two Eevee Grove. Oh, okay, there's two Espeons. Espeon EX does 80 damage, 2 energy, and you can heal your active Pokemon 30 HP. The other Eevee, the other Espeon, I want to say it does more damage based off the energy it has attached to it, but I don't think so. Hold on. Maybe it does. Sylveon does 2 energy and it does more damage for evolutions on the bench. Espeon, I think, does damage based off your opponent's energy, I believe. Yeah, this one does damage for attach to all your opponent's Pokemon. Is there an Eevee that actually does more damage? Yeah, that's Leafeon. That's Leafeon, right? Leafeon, 20 more damage for each leaf energy attached. Yeah. And yeah, there's Drifblim in the game. Energy Crush is 20 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So unless you're going into like a mirror matchup, right? Then you get Espeon 1 energy. How's it going, Brian? Thank you for the kind words. All right, chat. I'm gonna go into YouTube mode for a little bit. We're gonna be uploading some of these as YouTube shorts. I recorded these offline the last time I did it, but the usual way that I do it now is I have this as my background, and that's it, right? I just record, go into the editing software, overlay this. Yeah, it's I could put a different Pokemon than Venusaur. Let me see. We're gonna add in Ditto. There we go. Mega Gardevoir with anyone other than Mewtwo? man, I muted the game audio. Whew. Because I was about to sneeze and I didn't want you guys to hear the big sneeze. Okay. Alright, so we're going to talk about some of these cards, chat. Okay, so there's a lot of new cards that were showing off in the new B2 Fantastic... Chat, I forgot the name already. Okay, so there were a lot of new cards. Okay, wow. I have not... Man, recording. Okay, so there have been a lot of new cards that were showing off for the new B2 expansion, Fantastical Parade, and the main one is Mega Gardevoir EX. She is the cover art here, or they are the cover art here, rather. It is a 210 HP Mega Pokemon, 2 energy for 110 damage, and you're taking 3 energy from your energy zone and attaching it to your psychic Pokemon in any way you like. So you can't do colorless Pokemon. This is for psychic Pokemon strictly. We joked about this when it first came out and we were like, wait, what if Mega Gardevoir EX attaches 2 energy, not 1? They went above and beyond and did 3 energy, and you can distribute it any way you like. It's not 3 energy for just a singular Pokemon. It's 3 energy to all of your Pokemon spread out. So there's a lot of decks that you can run this in. Obviously, the first one I'm thinking of is Mewtwo. You could probably bring Mewtwo back if you really want to. Some people have been saying like Lake Trio. Maybe they run it in some Lake Trio decks. Reuniclus, I don't really see it being good. I mean, Reuniclus, yeah, if you want to stay in the active slot with Gardevoir. But do keep in mind they can Cyrus you back every time you attack and try to ramp up 3 energy for your Reuniclus. Sounds very good to ramp up Reuniclus very quickly. However, the one deck that I personally think is going to be super strong in is going to be Gengar EX. Yeah, we haven't seen Gengar in the meta in such a long time, but because Mega Gardevoir EX is a Mega Pokemon, once your Gardevoir dies, it's basically over, right? Game over, they win the game. If you're able to attack once for 110, and then put that 3 energy on Gengar, who needs perfectly 3 energy, you're able to put Gengar in the active spot. They can't use supporters anymore. They can't Sabrina, they can't Cyrus, they can't do anything to you. And your Mega Gardevoir is alive and well. Of course, you can keep your Mega Gardevoir in the active spot until it seems like it's gonna die, and then you go to the Gengar. So obviously Gengar and Mega Gardevoir are both stage 2s. Might be kind of rough getting them both active, right? But you can benefit from like double Lily in the deck and stuff like that, etc. But there are a lot of Pokemons that could benefit from Mega Gardevoir, 3 energy, you know, Giratina off the top of my head, Mewtwo, the Lake Trio, so on and so forth. Let me know your thoughts and who you think you're going to be pairing Mega Gardevoir EX with. I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of team comps that I'm going to be trying out, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm eager to know your thoughts down below. No, I didn't sneeze. I muted to try to sneeze, but it went away, which is the worst feeling sometimes. The cold weather here. I don't know where you guys are currently residing at, but the cold weather, it's definitely getting a lot of people sick, stuffy noses. So apologies if I sound a little congested today. Also, you can build energy on Gengar for a later Diantha play. I forgot. Diantha heals 90, right? If you healed any damage in this way, discard 2 energy from that Pokemon. Freezing here in Toronto. Alongside Indeedee, it could be crazy. Absolute wild stuff, man. Yeah, there's a lot of plays. I didn't even think about talking about the new supporters and the stadium card as well. I guess we'll hop in. We'll talk about the stadium card right here. Diantha is great, especially to stop Cyrus plays. Yeah. You can combo it. You can combo it for sure. Okay, so I want to talk very briefly about the new Stadium cards. Stadium cards are officially coming to Pokemon TCG Pocket, and the very first Stadium card that we've seen, at least, is going to be Peculiar Plaza, which is beneficial to Psychic Pokemon. So the retreat cost of each Psychic Pokemon in play, meaning both yours and the opponent's, is 2 cost less. Giratina, free retreat cost. A lot of other Pokemon out there, you know, free retreat cost. You could, I mean, some people have been saying, you know, Lake Trio, maybe I can get free swaps, and you know, you can do that if you want. The main thing is this Stadium card is going to be very good for literally every single Psychic deck. So if you're running a Psychic deck, you're going to want to throw a Stadium card in your deck because there's no downside, and you can only have a single Stadium card in play at once. Now, because it says you can only play a single Stadium card in play, right? Put it next to the active spot, and then you discard it if another Stadium card comes into play. There has to be another Stadium card in this expansion that we have not seen yet. Because then if there's not, it would be pretty unfair, am I right? Because we only have a single Stadium card that's benefiting all Psychic Pokemon. There's got to be at least one other Stadium card thrown into the expansion just to negate the effect of the Stadium card so these Psychic decks aren't running rampant. That's just my opinion. I don't know. There might just be a single Stadium in this update. Maybe they're just doing one Stadium to test the waters for now, and then the next expansion, B2A or whatever, is going to be the big one that comes out with like 2 or 3 more Stadium cards. I personally think there's going to be at least one other in the expansion, but so far this does seem like you're going to want to run at least one Stadium card in all of your Psychic decks. And do keep in mind you're going to be helping the opponent out as well. They are also running Psychic, but if they're not, then you get all the benefits, no downside. Seems very good. You know, Mewtwo, free retreat, Giratina, free retreat. A lot of Psychic Pokemon out that could benefit from this, especially with some of the new Psychic support cards that are releasing. At least if your opponent plays this, it's free retreat cost for Indeedee. Yeah. True. Yeah, Mewtwo. Free retreats, man. You can also do Mimikyu. There's a little bit of synergy there as well. Sightseer searches Stage 1, makes Stage 2 Pokemon decks viable. Makes 2 Stage 2 decks viable. Put all Stage 1 Pokemon you find there into your hand. Yeah, so that Mega Gardevoir Gengar doesn't seem like a bad idea, right? Okay, we got Mega Mawile EX being released in the next expansion, B2 Fantastical Parade, and it's very interesting. It's 2 energy, 60 damage, and it has like the same effect as Miltank. So it says until this Pokemon leaves the active spot, this Pokemon's Heat Up Crunch attack does 30 plus 30 damage. And the effect stacks. So for 2 energy, you're doing 60. The next turn, you're doing 90, then 120, then 150. You ramp up very quick. But keep in mind, this is a Mega Pokemon, 170 HP. And once it dies, it's game over. The opponent wins the game. However, there are a lot of survivability items you can throw in. For metal decks, we have a Pokemon tool, Steel Apron. You take minus 10 damage, and you're immune to all status effects. You're not going to be put to bed, not going to get burned, etc., so on and so forth. There is Adaman that hasn't really seen the light of day, the supporter card. Minus 20 damage for playing him, so you have Adaman. However, there's also Metal Core Barrier, a brand new Pokemon tool that has been added into the actual expansion that says if this card is attached to one of your Pokemon's, or if this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your opponent's turn. The metal Pokemon this card is attached to takes minus 50 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So that's also another minus 50. I think it says 50 when they showed it in the trailer, was very blurry, kind of hard to read. but we also have that for survivability. Also with, you know, potions and Poke Center ladies and stuff like that, you can keep this Mega Mawile alive for quite a while unless you're going up against, say, I guess a Mega Charizard or something like that. So my first initial thought was, maybe we just run this in a 19 trainer deck. Kind of like how Miltank was. You have more survivability, you have a lot more healing and stuff potential for that. And you can ramp up, you can slowly, like eventually you're going to start doing 200 damage and knock out all the Pokemon as long as you can live. So maybe run it in a 19 trainer and see how that goes. The one main concern though is if you're running it in a 19 trainer, Oricorio is going to knock you out. So do keep that in mind, but when this Pokemon card comes out, I'm most definitely going to try and make this work in a 19 trainer deck and see how that goes. Let me know what your thoughts are and what you guys are going to be pairing this with. It's definitely minus 50. Yeah, it was very blurry on the trailer, but I'm pretty sure it says minus 50, right? And they snuck that in too at the very end. It seemed crazy. Yeah, you do have to attach it precisely. But if you know the opponent's going to attack, might as well go in. How's it going, Jared? You would use this with a baby Pokemon. That way you're attacking turn 2. True. And if you don't find the baby Pokemon, I mean, the thing that sucks though, hold on, the thing that sucks is if you're putting it with a baby Pokemon, now you have to make sure you put Pokeball in the deck so you can find your Mega Mawile. And if you're running it with just one baby, one Mega Mawile, there might be some games where you're like, I can't find my Mega Mawile. I have like 17 trainers in the deck, 18 other trainers in the deck. You know? That would suck. With at least Mega Mawile 19 trainer, you're guaranteed to get a start with it. But I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No, Jasmine does not work with Mega Mawile. Jasmine, I think, says Mega Skarmory and... Chat, what is Jasmine? Jasmine is Mega Skarmory EX. Not Mega Skarmory EX. Skarmory EX, my bad. Jasmine, Skarmory EX, and someone else. You could run Serena for the consistency. True. Very true. Okay, so we have an interesting full art card here called Phalanx, and the ability makes it very cool because it says if you have another Phalanx in play, this Pokemon's attack does plus 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, and this Pokemon takes minus 20 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Sound familiar, right? It's Furfrou. It's like the new Furfrou that came out. You're taking minus 20 from the opponent's active Pokemon. You have the ability Invade. 1 energy, 20 damage. Furfrou does 30 damage, however, so Furfrou does do 10 extra damage. However, you do have the same HP pool. But if you have another Phalanx in play, you're doing 20 more damage, which means you effectively could be a better Furfrou. Same HP, same minus 20 damage being taken when you're in the active from the opponent's attacks. And you're doing 40 damage, which is 10 extra. So Phalanx might be a very good card to actually play instead of Furfrou, at least when you're running in like fighting decks, because it does need that fighting energy. Furfrou, I guess the cool thing about Furfrou is it's colorless, right? You can run Furfrou in pretty much any single deck if you want to have that frontline attack or be a tank while you are building up. So people run it in like Blaziken, people run it in Mega Altaria. You can't really run Phalanx in Blaziken or Altaria because it's fighting, but it's a cool card nonetheless. Eager to hear your thoughts down below on what you guys think about Phalanx. Would this replace Hitmontop and Lopunny? In my opinion, I don't think so. So, you're doing a lot more damage to the active Pokemon, but is your win condition with Hitmontop because you want to hit the active Pokemon? Because if that was the case, Turbo, you would have already replaced Hitmontop with, say, Hitmonlee that does 30 damage to the front, Hitmonchan that does 30 to the front. The main thing about Hitmontop is you're able to hit the front, but also hit the back. And because you're hitting the back, you can Cyrus and then get a first swing in with your Mega Lopunny if you need to. That's the cool thing about Hitmontop in the Lopunny deck, at least for me, right? I don't know if I would want to replace Hitmontop in the Lopunny with Phalanx just for the active spot. Yeah, we know Sinistcha. Furfrou doesn't need the other one. We talked about it. We're making a couple of quick YouTube shorts, some clips just to post up, and we're talking about, you know, different play-by-plays. Yeah, you need both Phalanx to make it work. Furfrou's ready on the get-go, yeah. Yeah, but it could be buffed by another 20 by Riolu. Yeah, true. Very true. Teal Mask Ogerpon. Hitmontop's good because of Cyrus. Chat, there's another card that does the same ability, right? Oh, Psychic Energy. All right, we'll talk about Teal Mask Ogerpon. Okay, so Teal Mask Ogerpon EX is a newer card coming out in B2 Fantastical Parade, and it sounds there's a lot going on here, right? So let's start first with saying it's an EX Pokemon at 130 HP. 130 HP nowadays in the current meta is quite low, but the ability Soothing Wind, each of your Pokemon that has any energy attached recovers from all special conditions and can't be affected by any special conditions. There's another Pokemon in the game, Comfey, that does something very similar. However, it needs to have psychic energy attached to do the same effect. This is basically any single Pokemon, so you don't need to strictly run this in any kind of grass deck. You could run it in any kind of deck at all. In fact, you could just have it on the bench and then just throw down Teal Mask Ogerpon. Recovers from all status effects. It basically negates the need for a Poke Center Lady, obviously minus the healing. And you could only use this in a grass deck because you need grass energy. There's a couple of decks you could run this in. Leafeon could help ramp that up very quickly because it says the ability 60 damage for 2 energy. If the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon is 5 or more, this attack does 60 more damage. So say, for example, you have 3 energy on Teal Mask Ogerpon, 2 energy, they have 3 energy on their active Pokemon, you're doing 120 damage. Now, there is Superior, doubles your energy, puts you to 4 energy, and if the opponent has at least 1 single energy attached to their active Pokemon, you get to do 120 more damage. They're probably going to have at least 1 energy attached to their active Pokemon. So Superior seems like a very good card to throw in if you want to try and combo with that. But again, 130 HP is quite on the low side. You do have Leaf Cape for grass Pokemon to try to help with that in that regard. I'm eager to know your thoughts about Teal Mask Ogerpon, if you guys are going to be just throwing this in every deck to try to replace Poke Center Lady or not, just for those status conditions. I don't think status conditions are super rampant right now for the need for Soothing Wind. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on Teal Mask Ogerpon, what you guys think about this card or not. Seems interesting, nonetheless. Ogerpon's Universal, yeah. Quick 120 damage. Quick 120. Yeah, we'll see how it do. Would Leafeon make sense? You could technically Leafeon to help ramp it up to at least 3 energy. Because the opponent will probably have at least 2 energy on their side, but if not, you can always get a 4. So, some interesting thoughts there. I have not seen that card yet, Sinostro. We're gonna take a look. I'm fighting congestion right now. It's so cold. Okay, so apologies for the low quality art here for the Mimikyu EX. This is the best version we have right now going off of the trailer, but the ability sounds very interesting. So it's an EX, HP 120, 70 damage for 2 energy as well. Basic Pokemon, Disguise for the ability. When this Pokemon is first damaged by an attack, after coming into play, prevent that damage. So off the rip, I'm immediately thinking coming into play basically means going into the field, aka you're going from your hand into the field. Either it's going to be on the bench and then you bring it into the active spot, or just keep it on the bench, right? And you're not able to take damage from, like, say, a Hitmontop or another Pokemon like Dragonite, Rayquaza that does damage to the bench off of their attack, Magcargo, etc. That's what I'm first of all thinking. Now, it does say damaged by an attack, which means that obviously Greninja ability can still get through that disguise, unfortunately, then you can get Cyrused, but if they try to attack you, you're still going to prevent that damage because that is actually classified as an attack. So it seems cool, right? If you put Mimikyu down, when you know the opponent, like say you're going up against Charizard EX, that you manage to build up their Charizard, they're about to swing in next turn, you could theoretically put down Mimikyu, put him into the active spot, you have a shield, and you buy yourself one more turn. One more turn for what? I don't know, but at least you buy yourself one more turn. That's kind of how I see it. If you already have Mimikyu on the bench and you try to move it to the active spot, I don't think it works like that. I think into plays from your hand. But it seems like a cool card nonetheless. Combo that with the Stadium card that prevents or makes your Psychic Pokemon have 2 retreat cost less. You could easily do a little bit of swapping in and out to get that Mimikyu in, which seems cool. What would be kind of broken is if we were able to actually bring back Mimikyu into our hand, kind of like how you can use Budding Expeditioner on Mew EX. If only there was a card that would be perfect for Mimikyu to bring him back into the hand, so we could actually throw him back down whenever we need to and negate even more damage. But that would be broken if so, so I don't think there's any card like that. We'll have to see when the expansion comes out, right? Yeah, we'll have to see. No, Hitmontop cannot break it. Because it said, when this Pokemon is first damaged by an attack, after coming into play, prevent that damage. If I have Mimikyu in my hand and I put it on the bench and I end my turn, that's me putting it into play for the first time. They go to their Hitmontop, they attack it. It was the first time it was in play. It's preventing the damage, even though it's on the bench. It's preventing that damage. Any attacks is prevented. Hitmontop, Magcargo, Wugtrio, Wiggly, whatever, Wugtrio, right? Rayquaza, Dragonite, anything that hits the bench, prevented. But I can definitely see that being used for like active Pokemon. Active Pokemon. All right, so here's a Pokemon card that it obviously didn't get shown off on the trailer. This is a new event Pokemon card, Mega Medicham EX. So it's a Mega Pokemon 180, Stage 1, and it reads for 3 energy, 1 fighting, 2 colorless, 100 damage plus. If this Pokemon has any psychic energy attached, this attack does 40 more damage. His attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, I'm assuming isn't affected by any effects mean ability, right? So it's not affected by any of the opponent's ability effects. So this is theoretically saying this could be good against Oricorio, no? I'm pretty sure. So you could theoretically use this. No other Pokemon needs to be in your deck, and you still have an answer to Oricorio with just Mega Medicham EX. Let me know if I'm understanding this incorrectly, but that does seem pretty good, right? You're doing 100 damage with a potential to go to 140, and you're disregarding any of the opponent's effect. Does that also work on Mimikyu EX? I think it also works on Mimikyu EX too. So I'm thinking of Oricorio, you just go right through Oricorio, and this is the first EX Pokemon that can actually hit Oricorio. But there's another Pokemon that's coming out in the expansion, Mimikyu, where once the Pokemon goes first into play and negates all damage, technically you can brute force through that ability with Mega Medicham or Mega Medicham EX. Because of this effect right here. So you're just negating that completely. That seems crazy. And those are just 2 cards I can think of off the top of my head. I'm trying to think about other Pokemon cards that have an effect that can technically save them. I guess like Onix, if you ended up attacking and you flipped heads and you're negating all that damage. Or Shinx, for example, with the hide, and you're able to prevent all damage. I think Mega Medicham just negates those abilities, and you can just kill the Onix before it evolves into a Mega Steelix. If that's how it works, this seems kind of crazy. It does seem kind of crazy, and it might be one of our best Mega Pokemon from an event so far because of the Chakra Fist. But let me know your thoughts down below, because that seems like a very cool promo card for sure. Wow. So Onix would be gone, Shinx would be gone, Oricorio, Mimikyu. Probably negates Magnezone as well. You can kill a Pyukumuku without taking 50 damage. Hold on, chat. I gotta write down all these cards. Yeah, I don't know if effect means ability. I don't know if I don't think effect, because Pokemon Pocket is extremely specific. I don't know. Do you guys think effect also means ability? Cannot counter Magnezone because, yeah, the effect is on your own Pokemon. So it says its attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Since the effect is on you, you're not negating that, yeah. Yeah, they're probably separate. But abilities, yeah, abilities can cause effects. So if we're thinking, so would it actually one-shot a Pyukumuku? I don't think Pyukumuku, because that's an ability as well. I think for a Pokemon, like I mentioned, like Onix, this is an effect. Because it's underneath the attack. That's the effect, right? So Onyx isn't safe. Shinx isn't safe. I wonder if Dark Pendant, I mean, still affected by the Zangoose. Yeah, abilities. Okay. So I'll go back in and re-talk about it. So it's basically Steelix, Onyx, any Pokemon like that. While was I looking at the Ditto? This is how I record the YouTube shorts for new Pokemon cards that are not released yet. I recorded this little background here. And for Ditto, I just replaced Ditto in my editing software with the Pokemon card. And then we just clip my voice audio from the live stream here and stitch it in for the voiceover. Would it work? Yeah, I don't know if it bypasses Pokemon tools. It'll be something we need to take a look at for sure. All right, let me hopefully try and get this all done in one take without my nose getting congested. Yeah, I don't know if it's cold for you guys. If anyone else has been getting sick from the cold while they're coming in. Alright, so they did not show this Pokemon card out. It's Mega Medicham EX. It's the newest promo card that's going to be coming out with the new B2 Fantastical Parade expansion. And it seems like it might be one of our best Mega cards for being a promo card. So it's a Stage 1, 180 HP. And 3 energy, 2 colorless, 1 fighting for Chakra Fist. 100 damage plus. The plus means it says if this Pokemon has any psychic energy attached, this attack does 40 more damage. This attack... Chat, hold on. I'm gonna drink and redo this. You think it bypasses tools? We'll see. You got a nosebleed this morning? This winter air is so dry. I think I'm starting to get sick because of cold air. Alright, we've got a new secret card that was not shown off during the new B2 trailer. Obviously, because this is a promo card, we got Mega Medicham EX. And this might be one of the best promo cards we actually have for Mega Pokemon, at least. It's 180 HP, 3 energy to do 100 plus damage, and you only need 1 fighting energy to get it going, then the rest are colorless energy. So the effect says, if this Pokemon has any psychic energy attached, this attack does 40 more damage. And then it also reads, this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So theoretically saying, say if you're going up against a Onyx, right? And it ends up using his attack 3 energy, I believe, to dig and hide, and it prevents all damage done to it. You can negate that and go right through it and kill the Onyx before it evolves into the Mega Steelix. Say it evolved into the Mega Steelix and was able to attack, which means that once it attacks, it takes minus 20 damage, I think, because of the attack's effect. You can negate that and be like, no, I'm still doing that 20 damage, and you get to go right on through. This card seems really good. 100 damage plus 40. You're putting yourself at 140. It's good for all those legendary beasts. So Entei, we see Entei quite often. One-shots Entei, one-shots Suicune. It also is good for like the Shinx as well. Shinx has the same ability. hide, so you can break through a Shinx if they're trying to go into a Luxray. I'm not too sure if this works for Pokemon tools. Like, yeah, you're attaching a Pokemon tool like Rocky Helmet to a Pokemon, and this says this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Technically, the tool, the Rocky Helmet, is now on the opponent's active Pokemon. Does that count? Because if you negate the Rocky Helmet, that would be kind of busted, but I'm starting to think that maybe it's only just the ability. We'll have to actually play and find out. Let me know your thoughts. And I also don't think that this ability can negate abilities, because the way that Pokemon TCG Pocket works is they get very literal to the wording, and if it doesn't say abilities, it's probably not going to work on abilities. So I don't think this is going to work against Oricorio. As much as I want to believe it will work against Oricorio, I don't think it will. So if it does work against abilities, then you can negate Oricorio's ability, and you can negate like Pyukumuku's ability, Zangoose, a lot of other Pokemon, but those are all abilities. I think it's only just the effect that's underneath the attack of the opponent's Pokemon. So I think that's what it's going to be, and this will not negate any abilities, unfortunately. But let me know your thoughts down below on this Pokemon card in the comments below. All right. Who's more Grem? Who is more Grem? Could run with base Medicham and have a built-in Oricorio counter, not so bad. Check more Grem. This is a Pokemon card that I just don't know. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Someone said they tested it with more Grem. Oh, snap. Someone's already tested it. Someone says it does counter abilities also like Oricorio. That seems pretty good. Wait. When did this card come out? Wait, that came out last expansion? How did I not see this card? The Gen 8 Pokemon. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the new generation. It does 50 to the Regirock. So you're saying Medicham is just busted then? Medicham is literally busted. As long as you can keep it alive, right? Should also counter trainers as well. So when you're in battle and you're using a trainer, say Adaman, that is added to the card effect. So if you ever like see anything in battle and you click on the actual Pokemon, you can see like up arrows to the right of them, and you click, or like a star and you click on it. Those are effects added onto the Pokemon. How's it going, Ryan? Yeah, no, it's not every ability, because it's just attacks. It's just attacks. Yeah, Poison Barb wouldn't work, no. It's just like recoil. No, it says attacks. Attacks. Rocky Helmet is a recoil effect. That's interesting. We'll have to look into that for sure. Yeah, we'll have to look into that for sure. I should have stopped and paused this. This is going to be a lot of videos here. I should just cut this all up and put into a long form video too. What's my opinion on Mega Mawile? We gave our quick little thoughts about it. I want to try it in an 18 trainer, 19 trainer deck. All right. I'm trying to think here. What do we want? I'm trying to think about this before I talk about it. Galarian Obstagoon. I'm thinking Darkrai to get quick damage on, but I'm also thinking Greninja on the bench just to do the ping damage. Or at the very least put a Rocky Helmet on you. Or a Barb just to make sure the opponent does get a little bit of damage done to them. Because 120 damage plus 20 from Darkrai or 20 from Greninja seems good. Does seem good. I think this would have to go into a Darkrai deck. Yeah, 2 stage 2s to build. I don't really know what I want to talk about for this Pokemon card here. So we've talked about Gardevoir, we've talked about Mawile, Ogerpon, Mimikyu, the Stadium, Mega Medicham. We haven't looked at the trainers yet. Flip a coin for each Tandemaus and Mousehold you have in play. Wow. Wow. Where is Tandemaus at? Okay, I don't know where Tandemaus is. Is Tandemaus in the game? Let me see before I talk about this. This seems kind of crazy, actually. This could be like a meme card. Do we have Tandemaus in game? We don't. Okay, so this is going to be a new card. This is going to be a new card. Alright, so we've got a very interesting card here. It's a stage 1, and it evolves from Tandemaus. So Mousehold, 70 HP. It says Family Beatdown, 60x for 1 energy, 1 colorless energy. And the effect reads, you flip a coin for each Tandemaus and Mousehold you have in play. This attack deals 60 damage for each heads. So if you have 2 on field, you flip 2 heads, 120 damage for 1 energy. Seems like a lot of damage for just 70 HP, 1 energy, 70 HP. They only get +1 if they end up knocking you out. Now, I am wondering, kind of like how, you know how we have different EVs, EV, EX, and you can run 4 EVs in a deck. I wonder how many Tandem Mouse you can actually run, because if Mousehold evolves from Tandem Mouse, then this theoretically means you can only have 2, right? Either 1 Tandem Mouse, 1 Mousehold, and then you're only able to flip twice, and that's it. Run a Will in the deck, you're guaranteed 60 damage, and that turns into 120, 50-50. Or maybe there's other variants of Tandem Mouse that we could actually run and do that. I think it's only going to be 2. So it doesn't really seem that great, but the potential to go up to 4 of them in the deck and you're flipping 4 times, 60 damage each, a potential to go from 60 to 240 sounds really good, because that could just knock out any Mega Pokemon if you landed 4 for 4 right there. But I don't think that's going to be the actual play, unfortunately. I think 2 is the max. Still, it's a very interesting and cool card, I think, since it's only going to cost, you have potential to go from, I guess, 0 to 120, and you're only giving the opponent a +1 if they knock you out, when they knock you out. So, seems cool, right? Seems cool. I think you could also combo this with the Ditto, copy a friend, or choose one of your benched Pokemon's attacks, accept any EX, and then you use it as that attack. So you can have both Mouseholds on the bench, your Ditto in the front, and then you attack and swing in. It's only going to be the same 120 damage, 2 flips, because Ditto doesn't copy the name, it just copies the ability. But it could be cool to run in like a double Ditto, double Tandem Mouse / Mousehold kind of deck, and you just run those 4, and then maybe like another 5th as like a big finisher. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on what you think. Do you think Ditto would work and make it so you can actually flip 4 times, if that would count, or if it's just for the ability sake and that's all? Yeah, I don't think you can go up to 240. I think Ditto is strictly just the ability, not the name. Because the ability for this strictly says you need to have your Pokemon named Tandem Mouse or Mousehold. Ditto is Ditto at the end of the day. He's always Ditto. You can have both Mousehold. You can go up to 240. No, but think about it. Think about it. You have 2 Mouseholds on the bench. Wait, chat. Full stop. It says, the wording says actually, flip for each Tandem Mouse and Mousehold in play. Technically, since Mousehold is an evolution to Tandem Mouse. Wait a minute. Since Mousehold is an evolution from Tandem Mouse is effectively in play when you think about it. It doesn't say for each Tandem Mouse or Mousehold. It's okay. The wording here makes it seem like I think it actually is 240. Because it says flip for each Tandem Mouse and Mousehold, not for each Tandem Mouse or Mousehold. Because if it said or, it would be, oh, I have a Mousehold on the back, I have a Tandem Mouse there, you know, that's it. It's for each. It's for each and. Play means playing on the bench. I don't think so necessarily. I think in play means it can be a pre-evolution. It can be, because that still technically counts as in play. Like if you're playing the real Pokemon TCG Pocket, right? Like Pokemon TCG, or not real Pokemon Pocket. If you're playing TCG Live, and I think how they do it is they stack the cards, right? They put a card down, Tandem Mouse is in play, they put Mousehold on top of it. Both of those cards are effectively in play. You're not kicking out Tandem Mouse and throwing it into the discard pile. Same thing with Pokemon Pocket as well. When you're playing a match, you can click on your card. There's a left arrow that lets you show what other card you had underneath it and what it evolved from. Basic is not in play though. It's 60 or 120. Cell uses the de-evolution move, the mouse hold, still be on the field. So you don't think pre-evolution counts as in play? Huh. 240 would be crazy. But technically it is still in play, right? Now you got me second guessing myself, man. Man, you got me second guessing myself right now. Ooh. 240 seems insane. Yeah, but it's like, if it wasn't play, you should be able to use them like attack, retreat, etc. I think it does count. You got me thinking that it does actually count now. Because if you're using Memory Light uses Pokemon. I mean, I don't know. This is interesting, man. There's a lot of new cards to like. Because we have a card, Memory Light. I mean, this does say from its previous evolutions. It doesn't say the Pokemon this card is attached to can use any Pokemon, yeah, that's currently in play. It just says previous evolutions. No, maybe we had it the first time. In play means in play. And once you evolve it, it's technically not in play anymore. You have a new Pokemon that's in play. Yeah, you might be right. You might not. So I think we had it right the first time still. Who knows, right? Do we have any other card that shows this kind of wording? I don't think so. Plus Tandemaus and Mousehold is Pokemon based on family, so it makes sense. It should count. Will still be on the field. Yeah, I was thinking it should count. 240 is a lot, but it would make that card extremely good. We'll have to wait and see, right? 140 or 240? Which one? Or 120 or 240? I know Pokemon Pocket likes to be very, very, very specific with their wording on things. Gonna be a believer for the 240. We'll see, man. All right, some of the new trainers coming out for the next B2 expansion. We have first Sightseer, which is gonna make a lot of stage 2 decks very consistent. So it says, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put all stage 1 Pokemon you find there into your hand, and then you shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So if you are running, I guess, multiple stage 2 decks, for example, say you want to run say you want to run Mega Gardevoir EX and like a Reuniclus, you know, both are stage 2 Pokemon, both need the rare candies, both want the stage 1s, but you want to use Mega Gardevoir to ramp up your Reuniclus so you can have an unkillable Reuniclus. Having 2 stage 2s is always kind of tough. Maybe Mega Gardevoir and Gengar, right? It's always tough because it's inconsistent. You're fighting over rare candies. You got to find who can find those stage 1s sooner because those stage 1s need to come into play because of that. Not too many people in the game, in my opinion, run decks that have 2 stage 2s because we all know how inconsistent those decks are. But with Sightseer now, I do feel like you might be seeing a lot more double stage 2s in decks, and like a Mega Gardevoir or just Gardevoir in general with Gengar EX doesn't seem like a bad idea now, right? Gardevoir with Reuniclus, I tried that, but at the very beginning was inconsistent because it was just 2 stage 2s, and the new Mismagius with Reuniclus just seemed a lot better. But there's a lot of potential here for a lot of decks that want to have double stage 2. It'll be my first time kind of trying to force those Pokemon together, but maybe this will make it more consistent and a lot easier to run. Seems cool. And you don't have to just run it for stage 2 decks necessarily speaking, right? Say if you're running Pokemon that only have a stage 1 and that's all, right? You know, there's Jolteons out there. You know, 2 EVs, big boosted evolution, 2 EV EXs. You got Jolteon EX and you got base Jolteon. Sightseer can theoretically help you find those Jolteons to quickly put it down on the field, and you can choose whichever evolution you want. So this isn't just for stage 2s. You have a lot more usability here and flexibility with Sightseer, which seems great. So let me know your thoughts down below on the new supporter Sightseer. If you're going to be throwing it into like your Jolteon EX deck, you're going to be using it for like stage 2 decks, maybe Mega Altaria as well. There's a lot of Pokemon cards out there that could benefit from this card in my opinion. Very good supporter. Lucario, true. Very true. I think honestly Jolteon's gonna get the most love out of this expansion. Why for stage 2s? I guess if you were fighting over this rare candies, but I could definitely see Sightseer being very good for Jolteon. I'm thinking Jolteon out loud. Alright, let's see. Let's talk about this. Hiccups. Diantha. Alright, another new supporter coming out for the B2 expansion is Diantha, where it says heal 90 damage from one of your psychic Pokemon that has 2 or more energy attached. If you healed any damage in this way, discard 2 energy from that Pokemon. That seems very crazy in my opinion. So I'm automatically thinking off the top of my head, say if I had the, because this is the Mega Gardevoir expansion pretty much. If I had Mega Gardevoir in the active spot and I'm using 2 energy to attack to put 3 energy to my Gengar, I'm going to be taking damage because I'm in the active spot, right? Before I leave that active spot, I could heal with the supporter Diantha, heal my Mega Gardevoir, and then with the new Stadium card in play where my retreat cost is 2 less, I can retreat for free, go into my Gengar, and then I'm still able to attack and I am clean. Hypothetically saving you from a Cyrus, but in this case, it's Gengar EX, and Gengar EX shuts down all supporters, so you wouldn't even have to need to worry about them using Sabrina Cyrus in the first place with that combo lined up. But this is just giving you a little bit of thinking right now to say, oh, maybe I want to like, you know, retreat off the active spot on a Pokemon and go into someone else, and you have basically a free retreat cost if you have that Stadium card in play. So it doesn't seem that bad as long as you just wanted to attack one time with that Mega Gardevoir, because obviously Mega Gardevoir is going to be ran in a couple of other decks out there as well, and because it's a Mega Pokemon, once the Mega Pokemon dies, it's game over. So to help you save yourself from being hit with a Cyrus, Diantha and the Stadium on Mega Gardevoir seems like a good combo to heal yourself, save yourself from any future Cyruses, and then you can go into whatever Pokemon you built up with that 3 energy that Gardevoir gave. Seems very cool in my opinion. A lot of healing, good for Psychic. I could definitely see this being played with the new Gardevoir in Stadium, but let me know your thoughts down below. But Mewtwo will be better. There's going to be a lot of cards people are going to be playing with Mega Gardevoir. Mewtwo, Gengar EX, a lot of Pokemon cards I can definitely see being played. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking that Gengar might be a good comeback. I know people, I mean, I talked about this during the trailer, Piers. Discard 2 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon, but you do need to have a Galarian Obstagoon in play, and Galarian Obstagoon is a stage 2. So, you know, seems on the interesting side. I mean, you definitely can. Alright, so Piers seems like an interesting trainer. It says you can use this card only if you have Galarian Obstagoon in play. Galarian Obstagoon is a stage 2 dark Pokemon that needs 2 energy to attack. And then if you do have that Pokemon in play, you can discard 2 random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Seems very good, and you're able to easily shut down the opponent's active Pokemon. Say if they were running like a Suicune in the active spot, say if they had like a Mega Altaria, you can shut them down and delay them heavily. Maybe they were running Venusaur, Charizard, Jolteon with 2 energy attached to it. Removing 2 energy can be make or do or die, I guess you could say, for the opponent, depending on the opponent's Pokemon. However, again, you do need Galarian Obstagoon in play, so I guess if you are going to make a Galarian Obstagoon deck, that needs 2 Dark Energy to attack, and Galarian Obstagoon can do 120 damage if the opponent has damage on them. Then yeah, right? Then this might be a no-brainer. At least throw 1 in the deck. It's a guaranteed 2 energy removal. Way better than Team Rocket Grunt giving that just in case maybe it'll work kind of thing. Seems good if you're running it in a Galarian Obstagoon deck. I don't know if you're going to want to try and run Piers and be like, oh, I'm going to run this in like every deck and then just run a Galarian Obstagoon in my deck. It's a stage 2, right? It's a stage 2. You're going to need at least a basic, a stage 1, a stage 2, maybe a rare candy. It's 4 cards already just to try and remove 2 energy. Not worth it. At that point, just go Team Rocket Grunt and pray you end up winning the head flips. But in an Obstagoon deck, this might be a very dominating card to go up against, but we'll have to wait and see. You hate that they call it Galarian Obstagoon. There is no such Pokemon. It's just Obstagoon. I haven't played Pokemon when this Pokemon came out. I was a Gen 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of guy, I think, growing up. I played Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green, Pearl, or Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Pokemon Pearl and Diamond on the Nintendo DS. We did play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Running this with a Guzz could be pretty fun. Yeah, I was thinking Obstagoon with Darkrai, not Greninja. Obstagoon and Darkrai seems good. But I guess if you want a Spirit Tomb and do damage to everyone, they'll already have that damage on them, and then you go Spirit Tomb into a Galarian Obstagoon, and then another Obstagoon. That could be good, right? Because Obstagoon is only a 1 cost. Let's talk about it. Alright, so we got Galarian Obstagoon here, which seems like an interesting card. So it's not an EX, not a Mega, none of that. It's a stage 2 Pokemon, however, with 150 HP. So it has a beefy amount of HP here for 2 Dark Energy, 70 plus damage. And the plus is basically saying if your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 50 more damage. Now, I'm immediately thinking, okay, maybe we go like, you know, Darkrai. Darkrai fits the bill. 20 damage on Darkrai with Nightmare Aura, and then you can swing in with Galarian Obstagoon. You're doing 120 damage. If you are thinking about doing Greninja, you got to keep in mind that's also another stage 2, so might be some inconsistencies with that, unless you're trying to run that new trainer card Sightseer. Possibilities. But another option, another valid option here is just no Greninja, no Darkrai, no EXs. We go Spirit Tomb. Spirit Tomb to start the game. We go in 1 energy, we do 10 damage to all of their Pokemon, right? That's it. And then you can put that second energy on a Galarian Obstagoon, which will be 1 energy on Galarian Obstagoon. And by the time your Spirit Tomb is dead and doing 10 damage consistently across the field, your Galarian Obstagoon is able to swing, ready to swing in with 2 energy, guaranteed doing 120 damage because all of them have damage on them, unless they ended up healing their active Pokemon. Maybe they're running Indeedee. We don't know their play comp. Maybe they're running Greninja, Suicune, Arida, etc. But you have high chances of being able to get some damage in and doing 120. On top of all of that, we also have the new supporter card that you can combo this with, which Piers, I think is the name, and you're able to remove 2 random energy from the active Pokemon. This does seem like a good threat to deal with because they have to kill your Spirit Tomb, which is a +1 for them, kill your Galarian Obstagoon that already has a bunch of HP, 150, and he could potentially be doing 120 damage to the opponent's Pokemon, while also having that chance to remove 2 energy from the opponent's active Pokemon, whoever that threat is, because of the trainer card Piers. And then once they do finally kill your Galarian Obstagoon, guess what? You can have another Galarian Obstagoon ready to go, because it's not over yet. They've only gotten +2. They still need to get that final +3 for knocking out your third Pokemon, because you're running no EXs, no Mega Pokemon. It seems crazy, right? They have to go through, theoretically, 300 HP worth combined with 2 Obstagoons, and that's not even counting the Spiritomb's HP, which I think is at 70. It's a lot that they have to go through, and you're going to be able to dish out a lot, removing all of their energy, or most of their energy. It seems like a good threat on paper. Again, we're going to have to see, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, right? Suicune, Greninja, you have your Spiritomb in the active spot. They get their Suicune turn 1, or they get their Suicune, Greninja turn 1. They ping your Obstagoon, they Cyrus it in, they attack you. You're cooked, right? So on paper, it sounds good. In practice, we'll have to wait and see how it does. Let me know your thoughts down below and who you think you're going to combo Galarian Obstagoon with or not. I'm eager to know. It sounds very good though, right? Spiritomb sounds like a very good combo. Yeah, and you, of course, you can run Barb, Rocky Helmet, etc. I think no EXs, no Darkrai, no Greninja, and then just strictly keep the Spiritomb. Spiritomb's gonna be great, I think. I think Spiritomb's gonna be great. And I'll write down all these cards as well, right? Like, one deck is gonna be Spiritomb plus Obstagoon plus the Piers, right? Mega Gardevoir plus Gengar EX could also be a thing. I'm gonna say Mega Mawile EX 19 Trainer. Like, we have a lot of decks written down right here on what we can try out. You could also theoretically run Phalanx with Mega Medicham. Go double Phalanx. They have to knock out Phalanx twice and then the Mega. Actually, no. Maybe Phalanx with like Lucario's. Yeah, maybe Phalanx plus Lucario plus Sightseer. And I might even say Lucario EX. Is that crazy to say? Double Phalanx with one base Lucario and a Lucario EX. That seems crazy because Phalanx is only 1 energy and you can build up Lucario EX to 3 energy very quickly. And Sightseer can get some consistencies on finding the base Lucario so you can do more damage. Seems good, seems great. I don't know. I'm writing down different decks ideas for when the expansion comes out. Again, I'm not gonna actually be able to play when the expansion comes out. The sad thing about being late on uploading different decks, the one thing that sucks about being a content creator is if you're not the first content creator to upload a certain type of deck, like, yeah, look, we're talking about the different decks right now, right? We're talking about all these different ideas right now. But the sad thing about being a content creator is if you're not the first one to upload, and if you're not the most popular content creator, which we're not popular at all in the Pokemon TCG Pocket scene right now, right? We're not popular at all. Then anytime we upload a video, some people will say that you stole someone else's idea. I've had that happen quite a bit on a couple of our other videos where people are like, wait a minute, why'd you copy X person's deck? Why'd you copy this YouTuber's deck? I'm sorry. All right, listen. Just because they're more popular doesn't mean they originated the deck. We're gonna have that happen a lot, unfortunately. I think. You don't think playing fighting types will be a thing? We'll see, we'll see. It does seem psychic based, but we'll see. So yeah, forgive me, chat. I'm not gonna be here when the expansion just drops. I'm gonna be here like 2 weeks after, sadly. But we're talking about the different deck ideas right now. And then I gotta wait 2 weeks to actually play the deck and upload the video. But Spiritomb, Obstagoon, Piers seems good. Mega Gardevoir, Gengar EX. I want to try that. Mega Mawile 19 Trainer with Metal Core Barrier plus Adaman seems good. We got double Phalanx and Lucario, which seems great. Trying to think about what else here. Yeah, I try to say that as well, Taz Prodigy. I try to tell people, like, hey, look, it's Pokemon Pocket. You only have 20 cards. And if you're building a deck based off of a deck theme, and the deck theme is, okay, I want to build a deck theme I want to build a deck theme off of the new... I'm trying to give you a good example. I want to build a deck theme off the new Magnezone, right? You're like, okay, let's build a new Magnezone deck. Automatically, for that Magnezone deck, you already know you're going to be throwing in very similar cards. Like for Magnezone, you're going to want 2 stage 1s, 2 basics, 2 Magnezones. You're going to want Pokeballs, Research. You're probably going to run your same Sabrina Cyrus because anyone who plays Pokemon Pocket knows Sabrina Cyrus is very good. And you're going to want Clement for the consistency on finding more Magnezones. Like off the bat, it's already what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 cards right there that are the same. Copycat is always good. So that's 14. 14 cards is already the same. So you have no idea how many times I have to explain to some of the commenters on the videos and say, look, it's Pokemon Pocket. When you think of a deck idea with a Pokemon, you're limited on how much you can put in the deck. The decks are going to look very similar because of that, right? Like, those cards are good, like, universal across all players for the most part. Yeah, 20 card deck size is very limited. So most decks are going to be the same, or look the same. I used to watch Hoogland, and I think he had the same thought process as well, because a lot of people, I think, were also giving him, or trying to give him flack for, quote-unquote, copying other people's decks, but they didn't understand that just because another popular YouTuber uploaded something doesn't mean that they were the sole originator of the idea, if that makes sense. I guess you got to be original and put Looker. True. We're gonna put Looker in every deck. You could do any cards with Magnemite, you just need to change the basic. Yeah, so we have Magnezone Oricorio, but you can kick out Oricorio and go like 0 auras. There's different variants you can do, right? We have the Oricorio variant because I think Oricorio is good. It's like best of both worlds. You have Magnezone for the heavy hitters, you got Oricorio for the EXs. I'm trying to look if there's other cards we want to talk about. We've talked about pretty much every card here on the new stuff. There are some new things being added as well, chat. I don't think I'm uploading a long form video, truth be told. I think I'm just going to be uploading YouTube shorts and that's it. But there's some new flair, some artwork, a new game mode that's actually coming out. It's a solo game mode, I believe. So nothing too fancy just yet, but some quality of life changes with new features, like being able to send a message when you're trading with someone else. There's a lot of stuff that looks like it's being added right now. So seems cool. Yeah, Jeff Hoogland. Hoogland. I don't know what I said. Hoogland? I don't know what I said. Yeah, Jeff Hoogland. I used to watch him for Pokemon Pocket, but I don't really watch any Pokemon Pocket streamers nowadays because I'm swamped in time right now. Like even now I'm rushing through what I'm saying because I have to finish packing and all this other stuff. And today's supposed to be like a super short stream. Exactly, that's why you look at everyone's deck creation, it always looks the same, but 1 or 2 cards are changed. Yeah. It's like 1 or 2 cards are pretty much the flex cards, but most of the other cards are necessary, like they're mandatory in the deck for that given deck archetype. A lot of, like some commenters just don't realize that, unfortunately. Or it'll be as bad, Taz, where maybe I'll upload a video first, and then popular YouTuber will upload it second, and then they'll still think I copy the deck list idea. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Huh? But it's just the cost of uploading late and being late to the party on. It's like, it's the perks of being the content creator. You got to deal with it, I guess. So I'll probably see a little bit of that when I come back, because I'm going to be late on uploading new videos. I'm going to be about like 2 weeks late. Is that a leak or official? I think it's data mined. So I guess if you want to say data mined is a leak. So most of the stuff that I'm looking at on this website, I'm looking at Pokemon Zone. Pokemon Zone, And I think most of the stuff is data mined, which is why we're able to actually see that Mega Medicham EX is coming out as a promo Pokemon, because all this is like data mined stuff, right? And they've always been consistent. We have Cinderace as a Wonder Pick. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. 120 damage for 2 energy seems crazy. So like, it's all data mined, I think. So the new battle here, random battle for solo. It's like, it's not officially announced, but I guess it is technically officially announced, whatever you want to call it. However you want to look at it. They show it on the news for TCG Pocket, some stuff. Ogerpon, and yeah, we talked about Ogerpon and Superior, or Ogerpon and Leafeon. Ogerpon Superior could quickly be, yeah. I agree. Realistically, you only need, if you have Superior, 2 energy on Ogerpon is enough. Because Superior, Ogerpon, you're going to be going from 2 to 4 energy. Now, again, Ogerpon only needs X amount of energy if your opponent has energy attached. So it doesn't mean that Ogerpon needs 5 energy for you to do 120 damage. It's 5 energy combined. You on your active Pokemon and them or they on their active Pokemon. So if Ogerpon has 2 energy and you Superior, that means Ogerpon has 4 energy. If the opponent has at least 1 energy, which I'm assuming they will if they want to try to attack you, you get to swing back for 120 guaranteed. Which seems pretty good, right? And then put some survivability in the deck. Leaf Cape, Erica, so on and so forth. Seems great. And maybe you don't even need Superior. Maybe you're going up against a deck that is running 3 energy to attack or 2 energy to attack. Then you don't even need Superior. You only need to put 2 energy yourself or 3 energy yourself. At most times, like more times than not, they're going to need 2 energy to attack. Blaziken, Suicune, Altaria, Jolteon, most of these top decks. Or Ikorio. Most of these top decks are running 2 energy each. I'm trying to think about a deck that actually, like Mega Absol. Most Pokemon are not running 1 energy to attack anymore for a heavy hitter. I don't see too many Rampardos going around ever since Hydreigon came out. So at the end of the day, you might be good to actually just stick with the 2 energy here. And then just put a 3rd, no Superior needed. They have that 2 for you, and you're doing 120. If you're going up against a Hydreigon, you're going to die anyways. You're at 130 unless you have a Leaf Cape on. I know Hydreigon goes down to 0, and then you can't really do anything back to him. But yeah, right? Like more times than not, they're going to have that 2 energy. You only need 3. You're good to go. Like even Lopunny needs 2. Ogerpon straight up counters Mega Lopunny and Venusaur. Yeah. Oh yeah, Crobat EX is 1 energy. Yeah, we talked about Mousehold. We had chat conflicted here, myself included, because the flavor text says flip for each Tandemaus and Mousehold you have in play. And we're trying to figure out, because it's a stage 2, Mousehold is a stage 2 that evolved from Tandemaus. If I have 1 Mousehold in play, does that technically count as a Tandemaus and a Mousehold? Because it was the evolution. Which means if I have double Mousehold in play, I have 4 in play, theoretically. It's 2 Mouseholds, but 2 Tandemaus because it was a pre-evolution. And I can go to 240 damage potential. Or is it always capped at 120? Either way, I still think you're going to combo it with Ditto, Copy of Friend, so your Dittos can be the ones to try and do 1 energy attacking for 0 to 120 or 0 to 240 potential, and then once your Ditto dies, then you can actually use your actual Mouseholds, right? They have to go through technically 3 of them. It seems cool. We'll have to wait and see. Could be a good meme play. I forgot to write that down on the deck list ideas, but Ditto plus Mousehold will go down for sure. And Mega Medicham EX as well. Alright, chat. I hate to do this to you, but I have been on longer than I would have liked to, I think. Yeah, I've been on longer than I would have liked to. I'm gonna wrap up here. It was gonna be an extremely short stream. This is the last stream you're gonna see. I'm not gonna be back until like the first week of February or something. Maybe next Friday. Next Friday you might see me on or something, but yeah. Be on the lookout for that, chat. I'm gonna be extremely late to the party. But we have our deck lists, ideas down. We'll be making the decks as soon as we come back. We'll be playing them out. We'll try to get back onto the schedule for the 1 video a day. It's gonna be stressful coming back because I'm gonna be backed up on all the Pokemon stuff, but yeah. Chat, I appreciate you guys hanging out and being here. We talked about all the cards today, most of the cards. We talked about Mega Gardevoir, Mawile, Ogerpon, Mimikyu, Stadium, Ogerpon, or Obstagoon. That's what, 5, 6 trainers, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll be trying to cut up some of the talks we did today. I'll try and cut it up and then just upload it as a YouTube video or shorts, like a shorts video, just so we have some shorts going up. So it's not too many days of inactivity. But yeah. Sorry, Shanks. You're not a fan of the coin toss? You would just like to play? Yeah, true. I don't like the RNG with that either. It's always capped at 120, but 3 Pokemon could potentially hit 120. Yeah, so Ditto seems good if it's capped at 120. We talked about it. We'll upload all of our YouTube shorts over the next couple of days. I'll try and spread them out so as I'm out of town, there's not a dead, empty or channel, I suppose. But it's been a pleasure hanging out, chat. I appreciate you guys, all of that good stuff. I will catch you guys when I get back. Enjoy the new expansion. We'll open up some packs when we come back. I'm happy that the expansion is a single pack. I'm hoping they just do single packs forever, right? It would be nice, but I think some people are speculating that because we're getting a single pack for B2, maybe they're trying to do something big for the next expansion on like their anniversary. Because I think Pokemon is coming up to like a 30-year anniversary. February next month or something? I don't know. Something coming up soon, so maybe that's why B2. Because usually big expansions like B1, B2, A1, A2, A3, A4, those are all big expansions that always have at least 2 packs or more, right? Minimum, at least 2 packs or more. This might be the first time we've ever had a B2 main set be just a single pack, but I'm hoping moving forward they just do single packs, because that would be very good. That would be very good just to collect all the cards easily. I don't know how the whales feel about it, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice. Yeah, take it easy, Taz. Shanks. End of February? Yeah. Okay. Anywho, chat, you guys take care of yourselves. Much love. I'll catch you guys next month sometime. Enjoy the update. Enjoy the update. I'll have to ask you guys how the decks feel once we come back. First deck we play is going to be the Gardevoir. I guess it'll depend on what cards we get, but yeah. I'll be opening packs offline just so when we come back, I'll make sure that I can actually build the decks. But yeah, you guys take care. Much love. Hey, look, if you guys got extra cards, look, feel free to share any cards my way while I'm gone. I'm going to need those cards when we get back. But I'll be opening packs offline, a couple. All right, I'm out. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe.